have the chance today, moving forward, to change your life and change your generation of, moving forward by just getting up and getting active, by making that decision to just get up and go for that walk, or to eat every time you eat, or by just stretching in the morning. Like if people, even me, I'll hold myself up to, if you just get a good stretch in the morning, get a little light workout in, maybe just go for a walk in the morning. I'm telling you, that'll make the world of difference. Your whole energy will change throughout the day. Welcome back to another episode of Cheers to Health. Of course, you got to have that bad man, Brian Torres. And of course, I've got to have Omar DJ Skids Torres in the building. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right. Welcome back. My name is Omar Torres, and I am a certified personal trainer. I specialize in orthopedic exercise, corrective exercise, sports performance, fitness nutrition. I'm also a nutrition coach, and on the road to becoming a physical therapist. Okay, I got a couple acceptance letters already, so we're definitely on there. I'm waiting on a couple more, see what's up before I pull the trigger on which one I'm gonna go to. But that's exciting, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Congratulations, bud. That's a big deal. Good job.
Yeah. Yep, thank you. And it started with my bachelor's degree in health and wellness. So we're gonna keep building on that with Cheers to Health. Okay. We're gonna go more into that a little bit later on. But it's been crazy these past couple weeks. Okay.
Yep.
Got these 3 minions, and anything that changes just a little bit, it's hard to stay in a good routine. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Because I was telling you that I got sick, right? It was a Friday. I got sick, dude. I was like, dang, dude, what's going on? And it carried over through the weekend, so I didn't get to do anything. Okay. It was a freaking lame weekend trying to recover. But that's important. You got to recover, hydrate, do what you got to do to get back on it. But I train, so I try to keep my distance, make sure I don't spread my germs and stuff. So I didn't go back to work till Wednesday, the following week. But on top of that, these dang minions always dodging school, dude. Okay? They had fall break, so I had to lug them around with me. Get the training sessions in. I had Easton over here, making sure my people were, counting their reps right, making sure their form was on point. My little sidekick there. But man, there's things that throw you off. So I wasn't able to get as much with the podcast going, get as much with, what we're trying to do. I mean, we got some stuff done. We get clips out. But, with all that, the thing about it all is to get back on track. And that's what we're doing, okay? We're back on track. We're getting the podcast rolling. Speaking of the podcast, we're going to be doing a Halloween special live podcast either next week or the following week. Yeah, we're still going to talk about it. Up? But we will. Yeah, we're going to dress up. Okay? You got to dress up, dude.
I'm excited. Yeah. I'm ready to dress up.
Good. Yeah, that's funny. Dude, we did this trick-or-treat thing at like this outdoor mall thing, and I didn't think anything of it. I was like, all right, we're just going to go walk around or whatever. But these dudes were excited, man. They were like freaking out. They were like, yeah, I get to wear my costume. This is the first year that Easton's something creepy, so he's like all about it. Now he loves Halloween. Like, dude, you're too scared to even go downstairs at night.
Hey, back off, man. Back off, my guy.
We need to watch more scary movies. That's what we got to do. But yeah, man, getting back on track, doing stuff that we need to, to be successful, to be productive. Dude, how you been doing? You got back in the gym.
So yeah, speaking of back on track, your boy's getting back on track. I've been getting back into the gym. My weekend was fairly eventful as well, kind of, I guess. So Friday, went and did some golfing, and then Saturday had a little birthday party. Played a little kickball with the kids, and then Sunday, believe it or not, went and played some more kickball, but with the church group. So that was fun, being active. And then I know, like Monday came, and me and Lulu and Michaela, the crew got back into the gym, and we was getting it.
Yeah.
We've been pretty solid all week. Big shout out to them for helping me get there too, and pushing me because Michaela the first day she was holding me accountable. She she was counting my reps. I didn't think she was. She was like,
Gotta
"Oh,
do it.
are you sure
Gotta
you're
do it.
done?" I was like, "Oh my gosh!" And
Yeah,
yeah,
one more. One more. Una
yeah,
más.
no, well, I had more than one more left, and she called it, and I didn't think she was counting, but she was, which is good because like I usually count their reps, but just because they don't really count their reps, and so it was really nice to get that back in return.
Yeah. Helps push you because sometimes when we're working out by ourselves, we feel like, okay, that's it. That's all I got.
Yeah.
But if you get a little bit more push, if you
Yep.
get a little bit more of a little safety blanket, spotter or something like that, you got one more. You got one more. You keep pushing yourself. You push those limits. You get better each time.
Yeah, and it was more of a mental fatigue for me. I was like, I'm over it. I'm good. And then having that partner there, or just that gym partner there for you, just tell you, nope, you still got so many left. So come on, and then just going ahead and pushing through it. So that's been good. Like I
Slap you
said,
around a little bit. Come on.
that's been really
There you
good.
go, dude.
Yeah.
Good job. Yeah. Now, so the theme that we're gonna be going over today, okay? I know you're not a parent, but you're Theo.
Are you sure about
You
that, dude? I
have.
raised like 200 kids, bro.
I was about to. Oh, and yeah. On top of that too, and on
I
top
deal
of
with
that too,
kids all day
you
long.
know, you deal with all of them, but the thing is, balancing it all, finding that harmony within it
Yeah,
all. A majority, of our day is consumed by work, but we also got to make sure we take an effect that we have families, we have people that are wanting us to be part of their life and kind of being a good impact in their life, not just going to work and then being like, ah, shoot, dude, just go play, just go out there, just go, stay busy, get on your video game, go beat that level. I mean, at times, yeah, it can be overwhelming and you might need those, but I mean, that's why Cheers to Health is going towards the path of helping small businesses, government agencies, or corporations, whatever it is, to help, a workplace be healthier because we bring a lot of these things home. They stress you out. You get, down on yourself, you get anxiety, all these things. But there's ways to manage it. And that's where we
absolutely.
can come in, set you up in the best way, set your people up in the best way to make sure, you're getting the proper exercises in, you're getting the good nutrition information, and anything that, you can help your workplace, we're going to be there.
Absolutely.
And
Even
that's what
especially you
our
saying
goal
that
is.
also helps with the injuries too. Majority of injuries are back pains. And most of the times it's because people just don't use those muscles. And then so when they have to use it, it just has a spasm. It freaks out. So it's just being in that and kind of getting in that habit of stretching or being more active and having the proper form when you do these.
Yep, exactly. And I know, certain jobs, like maybe a manual labor, you have your safety meetings, you have little warm ups and stuff. That's awesome. Keep on with that. But with us, we plan on doing that and more, whether it's leading those people that are in charge to provide better information. Because some people, they go in there and they're like, fuck, like, let's just, swing our legs, do this, do that. Not really understanding why they're doing that,
There you go.
but the impact it does have for you in the long run, especially if you're lifting heavy objects all day or, being in awkward positions and stuff like that. Make sure we don't pull anything by
Mm-hmm.
doing those movements. And with that, nutrition is big. So we'll find ways to help talk to those people and be like, okay, whether it's, providing brochures, uh, getting the company to find ways to get some healthy snacks in the area that are healthy, but they ain't gonna be lame, bro. Okay, we ain't just gonna have no dang carrot sticks or something like that. Something beneficial, something high in protein, to get those good carbs to push you through the day. Because sometimes we get those snacks that are like super dense, and you feel lethargic the rest of the day, and you're like, what the fuck, dude? Like, I don't want to do anything.
Yep. And that's something I did like that you said is it's just having that information, not knowing. There's been a lot of things, especially dealing with kids, they get frustrated or just don't pay attention, whatever it might be, just because they don't really understand why they're doing it. And that could be the same thing for the workplace, Sometimes you could just be worked up about whatever the case may be until somebody actually breaks it down to you and tells you this is why we're doing it, and really understanding why you are doing it. It's really beneficial for everybody. Like I said, like the simple lifts, when you wonder, you're like, oh, why do we have to use our legs? And then it maybe show you like a bad one and how you can really feel it and understand why we are using our legs. And then the stretching, same thing, from just getting up and out of your chair sometimes. Sometimes I feel like I'm getting out of bed and I pull a muscle or something. So it's just about just making sure that we are eating the right proper foods and drinking enough fluids. Because I know a lot of times,
Mm-hmm.
again, I go back to the kids. You get so distracted with working or whatever it might be and forget to. I'm thankful I finally got a water thingy here. Now it's more convenient for me just to drink some water instead of having those bottled waters, which we just can drink a bottle of water and then be done and be like, okay, well, I got some water. But as long as I got this water jug here with me, now it's more convenient to drink more water. Just, make things easy on yourself as well, but also putting in the right stuff, because a lot of people would be like, oh, well, there's a soda pop right there. Let me go ahead, go to the vending machine, grab a Coca Cola or a Dr. Pepper, whatever it might be, when, maybe just grab a water.
Yep. And dude, being more active and knowing these things, getting the proper information to be healthy and, fit and all this stuff. I mean, you think in the worker, point of view, yeah, I'm gonna feel good. I'm gonna do things. I'm gonna be mentally, more clear and more functional. But also, I mean, as the boss, as the lead, you want those kind of people because you get more productivity.
Yep,
You get more things done. You get
yep.
less sick calls. You get less injuries. So this is a great investment in your business, but just making sure that it's done properly instead of half-assed or something like that. We're
Absolutely.
there.
And like I
We're
said, man,
there.
this is stuff that we want people to do for themselves as well, because this is for your health, for your mental health, for all of it, to be a better person for yourself. And then of course it's going to show in your work. So you go in, you start doing your workouts, you're going to bring better energy to your workplace. Your mental is going to be a lot better. I've had a lot of people recently, they're a little overweight and they started working out, and I'm telling you, their whole energy just changes. You can just tell that they're heading in the right direction just by, just eating a little bit cleaner, and making sure they're drinking their water, because before they were just drinking soda pop all day long. And then just going for walks. I mean, you guys don't know how pro just going for a walk I am. Even if it's, on your breaks, before work, after work, just go for a little walk. It'll make the biggest difference. I know a lot of people, even where I work at, it's not that big. It's a little campus where they still drive their cars to different buildings. Just take that walk. I mean, you're gonna feel a lot better. You'll have time to think about, maybe, am I really going over here to solve a problem, or am I coming over here to make a problem? Just by taking that few extra steps in to get that little endorphin release, even though it's not gonna feel like a whole lot. You might feel a little out of breath, but it'll be good, because when you get there, you'll be a little bit more clear minded, because you didn't really have to worry about, driving, backing up, going forward. What about hitting something or somebody? You're just taking that walk and really enjoying the nature. You're getting some vitamin D too, and just go for that walk.
Instead of that smoke break, get you a little walk break, a little strolling break.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But yeah, dude, you put on something right there, okay, is, approaching a certain situation. And this is a thing that I've noticed. It's been happening all over anywhere we go. We think about, well, whenever I think about a situation, I think about it like a drunk person, okay? A drunk person goes into a bar, okay? They're pretty much in the good, bad judgment side or mindset.
Yeah.
And they're already going in there, already kind of on edge. And somebody says something, words, bro, that triggers that person. They get really emotional. They don't know how to control them. I feel like a lot of people these days are in that mindset, dude,
Hmm.
of that drunk person. They take these words and they give them so much power. Like, dude, you know your worth. You know who you are. Don't let those words bother you.
Absolutely.
Especially when we're talking to people and we're not sure what's going on. Dude, be respectful. That's the
There you
biggest
go.
thing. Just be respectful with one another. Okay?
Absolutely.
You're gonna go into situations, whether it's if you're what do you call it? Customer service
Hmm.
that you're not gonna, agree with or, you know, see eye to eye with. But you still gotta be respectful. Because if not, dude, it's gonna come back on you. You're gonna be stressing out because of what you said, because you let those words trigger you. Trigger, dude.
Absolutely. Yep.
And
Well, I
that's
always
a big
like
thing.
to say
Yeah.
to people, and I know it's a little cliche or whatever, but man, you got to kill them with kindness. You really do, because you
Mm-hmm.
don't know what they've been through. Like you just said, you don't know what kind of day they've been through, or just in general what they've been through to have the reaction or whatever they're giving off to you. So you could maybe just change their whole perspective around right then and there, or even just make their day that little bit better. Just by being nice, just be kind to them. Especially if you're in a good space, you don't need to take their bad energy. Give them your good energy. Give them that positivity. Sure,
Mm-hmm.
they say that the negative is more than the positive, but no, just overflow them with that positivity and just let them know like, hey, it's okay. We're good. We can get through this, whatever it might be. I appreciate your help, even if they don't get a result, man. I do appreciate you for at least trying. Just be positive and just be positive. I can't stress that enough because again, you don't know what people are going through, and a lot of
Exactly.
people aren't as blessed as other folks are. So just be grateful and blessed and thankful that you are where you are, and you can have that moment to take the step back. Because a lot of folks don't know how to express their feelings too, so they might be feeling some type of way and just flustered, and they don't know what to do with it. So their first thing is just anger, like, oh, forget about you. I don't know why you call this. You calling the wrong number. Whatever. Like, hey, it's okay. It's okay. I apologize for maybe coming off the wrong way. But can you help me with this or not? If you cannot, that's okay. I totally understand it. But I apologize if I did come any type of wrong way towards you. But you just gotta, like I said, you don't know what they went through. So just be as positive and uplifting as you can. That's all we can do. That's why I always tell people: just worry about yourself. You can't control what anybody else is doing. As much as sometimes we would love to, we can't. All we can do is control what we do and how we, interact with other people. What they do, how they take it, that's on them. But what you can do for yourself is just be the best you by giving that positivity and uplifting energy to them, and hopefully just make their day better. Because that'll make you feel better. It'll make you feel a whole lot better than just giving them the same energy. And you're like, man, I don't know why that guy just pissed me off. I was having a good day too. Like, no, just like, oh, that's cool. Hey, and then because usually at the end of the conversation, it's usually like, man, I appreciate that, because I usually end up apologizing. For my cases, most of the time, if I have somebody rude, they just come back and apologize. Like, hey, I'm sorry, I was just having a rough day, this, that, and the third. So another thing is, don't take anything personal. I think we might have discussed this before, but don't take anything personal. We might have done it, and this goes back to that book that I was referring to, one of the podcasts a little bit ago. Four agreements, I think it was, where don't take anything personal and don't assume anything. You're just assuming that this person is angry at you, but when they're really not. They've got stuff going on prior to, probably, that now this is the little feather on the thing that makes them explode. So just don't take it personal and always do your best. I remember that.
Yeah. Always do your best. Man, good. I mean, you see a lot of the situations where, I don't know, and I think we hit on this before. People are getting too soft, man. People are getting too soft because they can't control their emotions. And really understanding, like, dude, stuff is not that big of a deal
Yeah.
towards you. Like, don't give it the bad energy. Don't do that. You know what I
Trust
mean?
me, I
Don't
deal with
waste
this
your
on a
energy on
daily
it.
basis. Yep. Yeah.
And I talk to my boys about that stuff all the time. I'm like, dude, you're falling into the trap. He's luring you in, and you're gonna be the one getting in trouble because you're falling into his trap. Like you said, kill him with kindness. Be nice. Nice always wins, and that's the way it should be, like all around. But somehow, somewhere, people get lost in this, dude, and
Yep.
it's been weird out there where people get caught up in their emotions. They
Yeah.
start making decisions off emotions, and unfortunately, it steers you wrong, man. Okay,
Yeah. And
so
and that's normal. I mean, it happens. We all had bad days. We all do. Nobody's perfect. But it's all about, having that bad moment or whatever, moving forward. We're all going to go through those bad times, those bad moments, but don't let those hold you back. Have that bad moment and move forward. Don't have that bad moment and hang on to it and give it to other people. Just throw it away. Move forward. Be like, hey, I'm having a tough time. Even if you don't want to talk to them, just tell them, hey, I'm just not in the mood today. Like, I'm going through some stuff. Just holler at me later on, whatever it might be, and be understanding to the person that's trying to tell you, like, hey, I'm just not in the mood. Like, give them that space, because we all know that we're not always in the best moods to be dealing with shenanigans. So sometimes it's just like, hey, okay, I see this person is a little riled up. I try to be like, hey, if you need anything, let me know. I got your back. But most of the times, like me, I just need a little space. Just give me a little space, and then I'll holler at you whenever I'm ready to talk about it, or
mhm.
I feel cool. But some people are very I don't even know how to say it. Try to comfort you right then and there when that's not really what you need. What you need right now is just a little space to kind of calm down and gather your emotions, whatever it might be, and then I can talk to you. But if you try to smother somebody in that situation, for me at least, it doesn't usually come out good. So let's try to be understanding and patient with people.
Yep, I was about to say, you got to be understanding of that person's situation because yeah, a lot of people don't know how to deal with some emotions, so they have to figure it out on their own. And sometimes you have to take that step back, be like, all right, hey, I appreciate you, but I need my space right now. Let's talk about it later.
And then,
Even whenever we went over this before, even when you're in like a relationship and stuff like that, that kind of stuff, communication goes all around in any kind of angle.
absolutely. And then another thing is, I know a lot of folks like, well, I don't know what to do in that situation. What if they do say they need somebody to talk to, or what if they do need that help? Most times, if they do, it's just going to be them venting to you. They just need somewhere to let it out. And you don't have to have the answers. You really don't. Because usually they're going to start letting it all out, and they're going to spit out the answers on what they need to do. Just just be there and listen to them. You don't have to have the answers. Nobody's got the answers for whoever has the problem. They're going to have the answer at the end of the day. Because you can tell them what to do and how to do it, this, that, and the third. But chances are they're not going to do what you tell them to do. They're going to do what they want to do. So just have that conversation with them if they're ready to talk about it, and let them know, like, hey, I'm here for you if you need somebody to talk to. Whatever you got going on, man, I got your back. If they want to talk to you, just let them talk. You don't even really have to say nothing. Just give them that verbal, that you are an active listener and there for them. But you don't have to have the answers. But like, just how does that make you feel, man? You okay? Like, I'm sorry that happened. You don't have to be like, well, you need to go over there and do this. Well, you should do that. No, just be that listening ear for them to vent. Because most of the time they just need somebody to talk to because they just feel overwhelmed. So they need just somewhere to let that stuff out.
Yep. And I mean, even then, they can be going on about what they're going through, and then maybe it was a miscommunication or something
Yep.
like that.
Yep.
We went over that before, where people get into it because of a miscommunication. That could happen,
Absolutely.
but don't let those emotions go crazy and then just go all out and destroy your relationships, your work, career, whatever it is. When it could have just been settle down right there. Let's just chill out.
Go for that walk. Just go for that walk. I'm telling you. Just go for that
Uh-huh.
5 minute walk, if that. And I'm telling you, to change your life. Instead of having that little outburst that you're going to regret as soon as you're done having your little fit. Just go for a little walk, and it'll make the world a difference. But you'll be heading in the right direction.
That's one of the biggest things when it comes to the workplace. I mean, because you gotta be able. It's not just physical; it's mental, man. We gotta
Oh,
make sure
absolutely,
we're all set right. That's
absolutely.
what the angles do. The emotions, controlling those emotions. Don't let it, take you over, and dealing with the stresses. Because we lose a lot of sleep because of the stress, and a big part of it is work back, to the house or whatever it is. And according to what was it, CDC, dude, there's like 1 in 3 adults that don't get enough sleep. I feel like, dude, a lot of people don't.
That's why I want to
And
throw meditation out there. I want to throw, if you guys can meditate or want to try meditation, I would highly recommend meditating. I'm preaching to the choir because I'm talking to myself because I've been slacking on meditating, but especially before bed. Because again, you guys are like, oh, my mind's already running 1,000 miles. That's okay. That's why we meditate, to calm that, to clear it out. It gives you that moment to have those thoughts and just have them in a way, and then your mind just clears, and then it gets you ready to go to bed. Because a lot of times, whenever we're ready to go to bed, it's kind of like we've been running around all day long, just nonstop, and then we're supposed to just go straight to bed and just your mind's supposed to turn off. Mine doesn't. So I'm telling you guys, if you have just 5 minutes before bed, I go to YouTube and just look up a nighttime meditation or before bed sleeping meditation, guided meditation, and it makes a world of difference. And I know a lot of folks were like I was, where I'm like, man, my mind's already going 1,000 miles an hour. I can't focus on this. But I'm telling you, if you just give it a try for 1 week, 5 minutes before bed, it'll make the world a difference. I guarantee you that. If not, you get your money back.
oh yeah, look at that. No, but that's something we can put out there too, is meditation techniques.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of meditation techniques that you can go towards. Whenever I got my bachelor's degree, that was one of the things that we went over, was like holistic approaches on how to manage stress and all these things. So there's definitely ways you can deal with that to make sure you're getting the best sleep, but also during the day, not stressing out as much. You know what I mean?
And for all my people who have anxiety, if you guys do not know, breathe through your belly. Don't breathe through your chest, okay? That's how we hyperventilate. So we want to breathe through our belly, okay? So take a deep breath in, fill that belly up, and then out the belly, okay? If you chest breathe, that's where you start freaking out, and your chest starts, you start hyperventilating. I'm not getting all the breath. Well, just calm down, through the belly, out through the belly, okay? If one person hears that, or if everybody hears that, man, like I said, that made the world a difference. I just found that out not even 5 years ago, and I feel like I would have been in a different place than I am now if I would have known that sooner.
Yo, see that? And you're gonna get so much out of it with recovery, all that stuff, because you're breathing better. You're breathing
That's why I tell the girls when we're working out, it's like breathing. I tell them that's the main thing we focus on. We make sure the form is right, but the next thing is the breathing, okay? Because you're limiting yourself if you're not breathing right either, or if you're not breathing at all. So it's a big part of living. You need to breathe.
Yeah, breathe right. It's crazy, huh? That we have to talk about breathing properly.
Mm-hmm. No, trust me, I get it because that's
It's a
me.
real thing.
Yeah.
That's a real thing. Yeah. And on top of that, when we work, just I think about whenever I was in the military. We have a group of different people, okay, from all kinds of different backgrounds, but we still find ways to get along and get the jobs done.
Mm-hmm.
So there's never gonna be a situation where you, like I said before, see eye to eye on everything. So there's always something that we can agree on, whether it's the type of job we're doing, or how we're gonna get that job completed, or even something as easy as the sports, a sports team,
Yeah.
a certain sport in general, or anything else like that. And that's where we want to help promote as well, with challenges that could be like events that we can set up and or workshops, things like that, to make sure you have a good environment. Because I mean, you have to have a good morale in the work spot. Because I mean, if not, man, again, you're gonna be dreading the day. You're gonna
Yeah.
be hating the whole day, dreading it, and then come home and be like, yeah, work,
We just pop a
lame.
top and throw on our TV. Yeah. So like I said, and I know a lot of folks, man, they just think that their life. I mean, like I said, there's people who go through it like, oh, this is just what I am. This is just how I was born. This is like generation thing. This is just what it is. No, I mean you have the chance today, moving forward, to change your life and change your generation of moving forward by just getting up and getting active. By making that decision to just get up and go for that walk, or to eat every time you eat. Or by just stretching in the morning. Like if people, even me, I'll hold myself up too. If you just get a good stretch in the morning, get a little light workout in, maybe just go for a walk in the morning. I'm telling you, that'll make the world of difference. Your whole energy will change throughout the day.
Yeah, yeah. That's something I want to dig into. Also, is with the military, they get time to be able to get these workouts in. So it's not about, for the military, it's not about having the time to do it, but it's actually doing.
Yep.
What I found out, and what I've seen, is that there's no accountability being taken for these people that are struggling physically, even mentally, because I mean it all connects at the end of the day. But making sure we keep each other accountable, and that's where
Yeah.
that community involvement takes place, where we can lift somebody up when they're struggling, or when they're not doing what we expect, what the business or whatever it is expects, and find ways to make sure they're pushing and getting that stuff done. And that's what, because I know I don't know if you've seen the stuff that's going on with the PT in the military,
What
but
PT in
they're
the military?
changing.
Do they even have PT in the military anymore?
What's up?
Do they even have PT in the military anymore?
They do, but they're changing the standards. So instead of testing one time a year, now they're doing it two times a year. And instead of a mile and a half, they have to run 2 miles. And instead of the regular push-ups, they have to do, for the Air Force specifically, and the Space Force, I think it's the same, where they have to do the push-ups. But I think the Navy already does the hand release push-ups.
Yeah.
But I don't think that was the answer to fixing the issue,
Time out.
because, like I said,
So they're doing more though, right? Are they doing more? Okay, well that I mean, I'll take that because I know before what I was hearing is they were taking away and they were doing less of it. But if we're doing more right now, that's a win. I'm taking it as a win.
no, and that's where I was at first. Okay, that's where I was at first. But then I was thinking, I was like, I don't think the standards are the issue, because I mean the standards. I mean, even whenever you get to a certain age, they kind of change already. Yeah, I feel like some of it should be adjusted, but you should be ready in any situation. It goes back to making sure your people are actually getting that stuff done, because I've noticed that a lot of those people, they get these tests done, they fail, they take the test, they find a waiver, they do something to kind of weasel around taking the
Yeah.
test, and they're still in.
Yeah, and that's tricky though, man. Because like I'm gonna play devil's advocate here a little bit because as a corporation, as the military, as anybody, as a business, there's only so much that they can do. There's always going to be a way they can weasel their way out. It's going to always have to come down to them wanting it, man. You understand that? Because if you don't want it for yourself, they're going to work twice as hard doing anything they can not to do it than to actually do it. Do you understand me? So it's kind of a slippery slope with that because, like I said, if you try to force them, then they're like, you know what, maybe this isn't for me. Whatever. I'll go somewhere else, but they don't have to do that, and I can do this since I can't. They don't. accept my accommodation here anymore. I'm just gonna go and do something else. So at the end of the day, I wish that we could maybe that's something we can brainstorm on a little bit more on how to hold somebody accountable or how to make them want it for themselves. Because at the end of the day, being healthy and wanting to live a better lifestyle, is gonna be up to you. It's gonna be up to you at the end of the day.
Well, in the military specifically, you have to be deployable. You have to be deploy ready. So that means you have to have all your certifications, all your training, including your PT test completed and done. So you should be ready all year long,
Theoretically,
essentially.
yes.
And that's the military. Dude, you're in the military, standards there,
No, I,
but
I agree. I
what's
agree.
happening right
100%.
now is that the standard keeps going up and down, getting messed with, when it should really be keeping people accountable,
Mm-hmm.
making sure, yeah, you're a good worker, dude, but you also got to do this part because you're in the military. You have to make sure you're physically fit to be able to get deployed because that's what
So
we
that
do in the military.
well, that's going to be going back to just being a standard. It has to be a standard, and it has to be like this is our standard. If you don't meet it, you got to meet it. If not, bye. And that's what it has to be. If we're going to hold people accountable, we got to hold them accountable. But
That's what it
again, like
is. Yeah.
but again, there's to some degree, not everybody, but if we just hold that standard, then I think we'll be good. But it goes back to, we always try to accommodate for certain things that maybe we shouldn't, just to maybe get more people involved. And I'm trying to be very nice with what I'm saying here, but just so they have to accommodate to have the numbers.
No, I get what you're saying. I was thinking about that too, where if we're in a situation where now our military is, diminishing because these people don't want to do that aspect of it, it's like that's a weird kind of situation where what's going on here? Like we need to figure something else out to make sure we keep our military personnel. And there's so many benefits to being in the military, and one of them is getting time to do PT, getting time
Can I
to
say there's
stay fit.
so many benefits to just being active and living
Yeah,
a healthy lifestyle as well? So many.
yeah. So I don't know why that would be a negative thing to have implemented to make sure we keep these people accountable. Because
Well, and you would think,
once we
well, I
start
think
one, then another one, and then we start seeing people busting out of their uniform because they don't take care of themselves.
not in
And
the,
then
not in the
how does
right
the
way.
military look like now? Not as
So
intimidating.
I think it has to go back to the beginning. So when you do your boot camp and all that good stuff, we're in tip top shape. Allegedly, we're in good shape. I don't know what it is, but from that point forward, you're already in decent shape. So from there on, they have to hold that standard. Like this is what you have to do. You have, but I don't know because I wasn't in the military, so I don't know. But from what it sounds like, it's like after boot camp, it's kind of like okay, well we're in now, so we're chilling. But if they just hold that standard and make that standard a requirement, then we're back in it to win it because you don't see
It's
no other
supposed to
way.
be.
Yeah, you don't
Yeah,
see
it's
no other way.
supposed to be.
There's no like, oh well, I know this is how we've been doing it. No, you've been staying active. You've been hitting these
Exactly.
miles. You've been doing this, that, and the third. So we have to. That's where it comes, and that's where I would tell my instructors groups because, like I said, Job Corps was closed for a little bit and we got it back. So we're trying to set a standard there of how we're going to run this program moving forward. And it was a perfect time because now everybody's come back, and you have to do it from the gate. Because if you try to do it in the middle of it, you try to do it afterwards, it's going to be a lot harder than if you just do it in the beginning and just set that standard right then and there. Just so there's no like, well, before we did, no, this is how we're doing it. This is how we've been doing it. So stay on track because this is what works.
Yep.
Now, if it didn't work, we got a problem. It sounds like it's not working, so we have a problem.
No, and that's yeah. I think that yeah. I think the issue is just sticking to that standard instead of letting people slip. It's just like anything else, man. When people start you know, inching that past that line or towards that line. They start pushing it. They start pushing it, and next thing you know, it's like, where's the line at? You know what I mean? And I think it's. Did you hear any of that speech that what was it? The military guy that's putting on like the PT standard and stuff like that, where he
No,
was
I did
talking
not.
about we need to go back to setting the standards even with dress and appearance and things like that,
Which I agree with
because
it.
it starts creeping
I
towards,
agree.
okay, now people aren't shaving their beards or shaving their faces like they should. That's part of being in the military.
Yeah, like I said,
There's
especially
people
if you're in
that
the
keep,
military. That
yeah,
is, I mean, there's a standard there, and for whatever reason, we lowered the bar, and there needs that standard needs to be, back where it needs to be.
yeah. I mean, there are things that were, a little too much where, but that's where you can kind of
Well, yeah,
work in that instead of, throwing all the stuff away completely, and now you can wear whatever, you can dress however, like now you're just a civilian that doesn't deploy or anything like
well,
that. Where
absolutely. The times do change, so we are going to revise some certain things, but we should be getting better, not be getting the other way.
yeah, yeah, and there's always going to be some kind of situation where yeah, it needs to be adjusted, um,
Yeah,
but it should be worked properly instead of getting taken advantage of. And
absolutely.
hey, I'm guilty of being one of those people, okay? Because I got a shaving waiver. Dude, look, this is all I can grow, okay? Whenever I was in the military, I got a shaving waiver, and so I was able to grow it out a little bit. Because you can get a shaving waiver if you get, I forgot what the that thing is, but when you get ingrown hairs from shaving a lot,
Yeah.
black people get it a lot. So usually you'll see more black people with beards and stuff like that. But I got it, and I would get called out all the time. They're like, "Dude,
Hey,
you can't be cleaning up
but
this. You're not supposed to
I
like clean it up or anything like that if you have a shaving waiver." So I was like, "This is
well,
all I grow."
you can't clean it up.
No, you can't clean it up.
Oh my gosh.
No.
So no, what I was gonna say is, well, kind of like me. You know how I obviously I've grown my mustache, but it looks like I don't look like it's just crazy all over the place. If we can just keep ourselves looking somewhat professional. Mine's maybe not professional right now, but like
No,
especially in
yeah,
the
I
military.
got you. Yeah.
But we want to
No, yeah,
always,
they have.
you know, have a professional, especially in the military. I'm sorry, but the military is a different standard to me,
Yeah.
at least. Yeah, you guys have to look
No,
professional, and you guys are literally like representing America. So I would hope that
that's true.
I mean, that's a big thing to hold on to.
No, that was just one of the biggest things that's been happening with the government. Well, that and that it shut down or whatever, but with the military, there's been like some stuff changing up. But that was one of the big ones with the PT standards. And
When's
like I
your
said,
daddy gonna open it back up?
dude, it's up to the Senate.
So I heard it was 38. I heard it was 38 days that it was can be shut down for, and then they're gonna open it no matter what.
They got to figure something out.
I don't know.
See, and we're not a political channel, but there's been, dude, and don't listen to everything that you see on the internet. Don't listen or read the big headlines.
Do your
If you're gonna,
research.
yeah, I was gonna say, if you're gonna have a big, you know, opinion or something to say, make sure you do your research properly. Because
Gosh,
then, if
I
not,
hear you.
you're gonna start leading other people in that same direction, and then that's where you have all this emotional, what's it called, chaos, and then that's where all
Yeah.
goes down. Just
By
you
not
know,
being informed.
politicians are gonna be politicians.
Yeah. That's why do your research and be informed. That's what I'm telling a lot of folks. Like that's why I try to inform people as much as I can with what I know on what I do know. Politics I don't know, so I'm not gonna say, oh, I know this. No, no, thank you. I'm good on that. That's Omar's forte. I'm out on that.
Yeah.
But if
No, and
you're
with that,
misinformed and then you try to preach to the choir about what you're misinformed and then you end up looking stupid, that's where people get their feelings hurt and that's where we get,
yeah,
the chaos per se
yeah,
because they're like, no, no, this is what it, well, it's really not. If you take a look at this and like, and they're so dead set, they done put it in their mind that this is what it is. Like, no, I'm showing you the proof right here. This is literally
No,
what. So
and
it's
that's another
crazy to
thing,
me.
dude. You have to be careful on where you find this stuff too.
Yeah.
You have to make sure you look at all angles. It's a whole different thing now with the internet, with all these media companies, because it's hard to tell what's true and what's not. So yeah, you really got to dig in there to make sure you're getting the right stuff out. And it's hard to trust you know people
Usually, what I
unless you
do
see
is,
it
if I don't really
personally.
know something, I'll just call Mr. Trump and say, "Hey, buddy, I'm not sure what's going on here," and he usually just texts me back
Yeah, you
like,
got
"Hey,
his
this is
number too.
yeah, I don't really want to give it up, so I don't leak his number on here, bro. Then we'll go viral for all the wrong reasons, and then he'll be pissed off at me. So please,
Yeah. No, and that's what happens too, dude. People get um one team versus another. Instead of, Team America, it's red and blue. And it's not just in between or, yeah, we agree. It's just like, I'm going all the way this way. I'm going all,
yeah,
and
there's no compromising for whatever reason. I don't know why, but there's never any
I don't
compromise.
get it.
It's like okay, cool, bye.
I don't get it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know.
seriously.
Like I've seen, especially when I work in the airport, how people like best friends who like they got along the whole time up until the election came in, and then their political views got in the way, and literally they're not friends. They stopped being friends. It was just it was crazy to me. They were friends for years and years and years, and for whatever reason, this is politics got in the way, and they literally are not friends anymore. And I mean, this is just one case out of millions that probably happened, and it's crazy
Yeah.
to me, man.
I think I seen, we'll probably take this out if we need to, but there was a situation on Facebook that it got pointed out to me where the Charlie Kirk situation happened. And one person was like, "Man, this guy, I can't believe this happened, blah blah blah." And then this other person came in and said, "Why would you, you know, like this guy, blah blah blah. He's this, he's that, he's this, he's that." Ruining a relationship because
Yeah,
now they're, you know, throwing low blows of this and that, and it's just
which is messed
ridiculous.
up. Which is messed up. Which
Over
is it's sad to say that people do that, man. Like I didn't really follow him too much, but no matter what, it was his opinion. It's how what his beliefs were in. Why are we hating this person for freedom of speech? We're in America for saying how he felt or what he believed in. That's why we're all here. It's just crazy to me, man, that people are so just hateful for no reason at all.
Yep. And you can say that this person was hateful or whatever it is, but to go to the extremes of calling people this and that and putting somebody in like the worst, names, labels, whatever it is. And dude, you've never met this person personally, and it's coming in between all these relationships.
And
You
there's
know
so many
how
other people who probably say 10,000 times worse stuff than what he's saying, but for whatever reason, everybody's so
that
involved
goes
here
back
is
to
because he's got a platform, and so now it's like, oh
the
no,
words.
he said it. He said,
It
okay,
goes back to the words and
okay, he said it.
letting them words carry so much power.
Yeah, he said it. Okay, cool beans. Like, but people take it so to heart. Like, no, like this is what we're in America for. It's a freedom of speech. And then, I mean, you guys, everybody's fluent to people who, and of course, if people are going to be listening, sure, I'll spit whatever I got to say. What do y'all want me to say next? You know, if you're going to listen to my opinions and how I feel and my beliefs, here they are. You don't agree with it, you got to watch it, you got to listen.
Straight up.
But
Exactly. That's it.
again,
That's it.
we're in America.
Yeah. So don't let these words, don't let somebody you've never met, and you, like I was going into, and dude, the internet. the internet, AI, all this stuff, you can clip things up, make it however you want. Like I said again, there's a one side, there's another. There's always going to be one versus the other.
Yep.
One side's going to make the other side look bad. So it's going to be this evil person versus this evil person. Dude, live in your world, make your own decisions, Yeah, get outside your bubble, but don't freaking get into all that hate and stuff, man.
Don't let other
You know
people
people.
run your life. Have your own
Yeah.
opinions. Have your own thoughts. Don't let them ruin your
Mm-hmm.
day. Make their day. Be happy. Be positive. And that AI stuff was crazy, dude. So the other day, I'm the one who usually I'll call people's names up and I'll give them their award and they'll take a picture. And so he took a picture of it, but then he AI'd it to where it looked like I was holding it, like holding mitts, while this guy was freaking doing karate moves on it. I was like, what? I don't remember doing that, but it looked so real, bro. It was trippy, man. I was like, what the?
Dude, yeah.
It was crazy.
That stuff is wild, man.
Yeah.
It's been
Yeah, I was like, what
getting
the heck?
better,
That's
like,
crazy. Yeah.
more realistic.
That's
I'm like,
scary.
what the frick is going? Like those Ring camera AIs, like they did the ones that didn't look as realistic, and now they're creeping more towards like more realistic, like where
Yeah.
the kid was like petting a bear or a gator or something like that. It was probably both. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then the mom snatches him. It's like that's AI, but it's
Yeah, it's
starting
still
to look
scary.
more and more realistic.
Yeah.
Jeez, what the heck?
Yeah, it's crazy.
I see my dudes freaking petting a dang dinosaur. I'll be like, what the frick, man? Got dinosaurs back. What is this? Jurassic
I
Park?
said, put a bull
In real
rope
life?
on him. Put a bull rope on him. Ride that sucker,
Ride
boy.
them. Yeah. No, it is crazy. And yeah, with all the things that Joe Rogan, I saw a clip where he was doing the 50 Cent thing, where he turned it into like a soulful
Boy.
50s.
Dude, have you heard some of them?
Done.
They're
Yeah.
pretty good. They were like, I was like, what? Because
Dude, I would listen to
I'm like,
this.
yeah, dude, there's some good stuff on. I'm like, bro, this is really good. See, that
Like,
stuff,
know
I
the
can
song,
mess with
but
that
the
stuff. I
script's
like
different.
that though,
Yeah.
because they did really
No,
good.
that's cool stuff right there. But yeah, even with all this innovation, all this new stuff, cheers to health. I mean, we're gonna be using whatever we can to make sure we help people.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I'm keeping up with what's going on in the world, technology wise, AI, whatever it is, to make sure I get the most out of it, out of our health, to help other people. I mean, because I know we got this podcast. I'm trying to give all this information. There's so much information out there, but going back to all the information, but there's also some bad information, and hopefully I'll provide good information, right information, entertaining information,
Absolutely.
and also help workplaces,
Yep.
government. We're gonna get there. We're gonna do stuff.
Yes.
Me,
Yes.
Brian, and whoever wants to join us, AJ, Lulu, and other trainers out there.
Anthony.
If we get big enough, we can give you a shout out.
Shout out.
And on top of that, we're still gonna be doing our our athlete spotlights, interviews. So if you're an athlete out there, wanting some attention, you wanting to spread the word about your abilities, your skills, give us a hit or hit us up. I can't even talk. Link
Or
up
if you
with
just
us.
want to share your story with
We'll-
us, like I said, we just like to have conversations here too. So you want to come over here, just have that conversation with us. Man, that's what we're here for.
Mhm.
Just to talk. Just because again, I like to go back to anybody, men, females. A lot of times we don't have that person to necessarily talk to, and then usually ends up of like a vent session, which you don't know how therapeutic that is and how just relieving that is. We've had a lot of people hit us back up after they get done and you're like, man, that was so much needed. I didn't know I had all that built up, and just let it out. It's very therapeutic. I feel like it is just to get on here, and again, it's just us talking to each other. It's not an
That's right.
interview. You're not on the spotlight. It's just having a conversation. It is being recorded, but again, there's certain things that you might have gone through or are going through that could help other people. That's the only reason why we like to put this out there for
Exactly.
other folks. You know, there's a lot of stuff
Yep.
I know that's helped me, that I hope and pray that maybe it would help some of y'all out there, you know, get through certain things, you know, because not every day is, you know, the brightest, but we have to do whatever we can to cope with it and to get better, you know, because that's what we're here for, to help one another as a community.
Yeah. For sure, dude. Yeah, man, that's all of it right there. That's what I'm talking about
Hey,
right there.
shout out. Cheers to health.
Mm-hmm. Hey,
Me hanging. It's kind of rude.
water.
Thank you.
You know,
Thank
stay
you.
hydrated.
Drink
Cheers
your
to health.
water.
Hydrate. Let's go.